Zoom. If you have one, go ahead and raise your hand. We'll get the mic over to you. If you're on Zoom, please go ahead and hit that raised hand function button. Jeremiah, we'll start with you in the front row. Mic is coming over your left shoulder.
Yeah, I mean, we may as well just start with mixed results, I suppose. But I'm sure it feels like a loss in this one. And if you could just speak to this ongoing frustration of results against the Timbers.
Full room in here, thank you. Full room, full stadium, so thank all the fans. I mean, I think everybody's frustrated, Jeremiah. Everybody's super frustrated. This was as good a chance as any to end that streak. Certainly against a lively home crowd with Cascadia Cup on the line. I'm super disappointed about not being able to bring that to our fans. You know, what can I say? Game unfolded in a certain manner. I thought we were in control of the game, and things, you know, just didn't end up in our favor. It is a loss, by the way. It's a complete loss.
All right, we'll stay on the first row here, Jose, and then Maz, and then just make its way down.
Brian, obviously the relationship with Raul has come to a point where he's no longer part of a team that you can rely on to get a result. He is the leading scorer against the Timbers, and he saw 2 minutes of action at the end. Is that something that you can put off to the side for the playoffs, or is he just better off the squad?
He's better off on the squad because we're still paying his salary, and he's still a very good player. The way this game unfolded, you know, we're watching the scores of the other games. You know, playing 2 minutes, would I wished he could have played more? For sure. He's earned the right to play more. He scored a ton of goals against Portland. He's shown his value to this club. But right now, he's not a starter. And so sometimes when the game flows and game ends up with you're down a guy, you know, I'll certainly reflect on the way we made the subs. But, you know, it just wasn't going to be his night coming in on this game. And as far as the future is concerned, if I feel the need to play him in any of the playoff games, I'm not going to hesitate.
Maz.
Brian, I know you haven't looked at the tape, but when you had 11 on 11, did you sense anything you could have done differently, just in terms of hunting, searching for that second goal to go up 2-0?
Well, I think we created enough chances, created enough half chances, and then we could have defended better. I mean, we had control of the game, Maz. I've already seen the goal that we took. I've seen some of the opportunities that we had. So people can sit there and, you know, I made sure that the guys understood that, you know, the refereeing certainly, you know, created some drama. It's not his fault that we lost the game. We could have done better in certain moments for sure.
All right, we'll go to Calkins here. Yep. The mic's coming to you on your right side.
To that point, Brian, the second yellow on Obed.
I don't think the ref knew that he had given Obed a yellow the first time. I think it was just kind of out of the blue in a reaction, because experienced referees would have understood that moment. He would have, you know, kind of felt that. I mean, it wasn't that egregious. I mean, he let a lot of other things go. Certainly, Obed is at fault for the first yellow. Can't fault the kid. I can fault the kid for that. But second one, I just think the referee didn't know.
Jada.
Brian, you mentioned your substitutions. Do you feel that it would have been wise maybe to take Pedro off a little bit early? He seemed like he was wearing down a little bit.
I think Pedro was pretty darn good. I mean, he created a bunch of chances. Unfortunately, none of those led to any goals, but the ball he slips into Jordan. I mean, I thought Pedro had another step forward tonight.
Diego.
Buenas noches. Se consiguió un empate con sensación a derrota. Hubo muchas jugadas de gol que se desperdiciaron y era un partido para un 9 nato como es Ruiz Díaz. ¿Por qué se demoró tanto el ingreso de Ruiz Díaz y si piensa contar con él en los partidos de playoff.
We had a game today that ended up on a tie, but it felt more like a loss. And there were many plays that could have ended up on a goal, and they were wasted opportunities. So it was clearly a good game for a good 9. Why do you believe it took so long to actually get Raul into the game? And are you going to be considering him for the upcoming games?
I'm considering him for the upcoming games, and the red card changed the substitution pattern of this particular match.
Sí, lo estoy considerando a Raúl para los siguientes partidos. Y hoy día la tarjeta roja cambió la perspectiva que teníamos para los cambios en este partido en particular.
Gracias. Nico.
On Zoom? Oh,
No, sorry, no. Nico
Nico.
Antun in the room. If you have a question on Zoom, please hit the raise hand function button. Go ahead, Nico Antun.
So, looking into the future, the Sounders will be playing Houston in round 1. Could you talk about what lessons were learned building off from the Portland game to go into the Houston round 1 game?
I think I said it, just accepting responsibility for our performance. It's the playoffs. That's an experienced team. We had some good results against Houston in the past, so hopefully we can continue that and get two good results in the future.
All right, we'll go over to Felipe Mada. If you still have one, Mike is on your left.
Gracias, Alex. Coach Brian, este año es muy especial para la organización, para el equipo, son los 50 años. Y los trofeos que pudo haber ganado Seattle Sounders cada vez son menos. El único que se tiene en puerta es la MLS Cup. ¿Cree usted que Seattle Sounders va a ser un serio contendiente para poder hacerse de ese trofeo? Gracias.
Coach Brian, we are celebrating our 50th anniversary this year, but the trophies that we're getting are less and less. In fact, for this year, the only one that is left is the MLS Cup. Do you believe that we are going to be a serious contender during this playoff for that cup?
We always believe, Felipe. We always have belief. The playoffs are set up for, the best of 3, and then it becomes single elimination games. And in those single elimination games, if we can get past our first opponent, anything can happen. So yes, we have belief.
Nosotros siempre creemos y estamos positivos. El playoff de este año está formado de tal forma que hay un set de 3 partidos y luego son partidos de eliminación simple. Y cuando llegamos a esa fase, los partidos de eliminación simple, creemos que tenemos cualquier tipo de oportunidad para poder pasar.
All right, maybe 1 or 2 follow-ups if we have time. Anything over here? Jada, do you have one in the back? Yep, we'll go there.
Brian, in turning to the playoffs, what do you think about the matchup with Houston? Like early thoughts, obviously.
Early thoughts, we played him without Hector Herrera. It's a good team. Benny will have his guys ready to go. He's an experienced coach, so it'll be a challenging series for sure.
Jose?
Brian, what were some of the positive things that you saw out of your team, especially going down a man towards the end of the match?
The positives for tonight, Yaimar's goal was excellent. He was an excellent header. A good delivery by Albert, but probably more Yaimar. I thought even when we went down a guy, we were pressing to try and score a second goal, and we actually created some pretty good chances. Reed, when he came on the right-hand side, actually was pretty good, got us around his guy a couple of times, so that was one positive. But, again, it'll take me a while to figure out if there was any more.
We'll leave it there. Locker room's open for access. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach.